Our greatest weakness lies in giving up, but the most certain way to succeed is always to try just one more time. With this positive quote of Thomas Alva Edison, we welcome you all to the 10th January edition of Civilspedia's Daily Current Affairs Analysis, brought to you by ShankarIASAcademy. And hope you are all the subscribers of the channel. If you haven't subscribed it, kindly subscribe, because your each subscription is an encouragement for us. And don't forget to hit the bell icon for receiving on-time notification. And here are the list of topics taken for today's discussion. And the first topic is about the digital portal known as PANKHUDI, which was recently launched by the Ministry of Women and Child Development. And the second topic is about the sad demise of the recent environmentalist and ecologist known as the Madhav Gadgil and his high relevance to the area known as Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. And the third topic is about the Ministry of Tourism's key achievements and the key government initiative along with its statistics. And the fourth topic is about the role of judiciary in environmental governance as well as the prevalence of uncertainty over the environmental governance by judiciary. And the fifth topic is about the Prelims Focus, where we discuss important current affairs which are very relevant for our UPSC prelims. And a small announcement to make, because ShankarIASAcademy's pre-storming UPSC prelims test series batch 5 is about to start from 20th January onwards. And this will be a regular batch, and you can register yourself using the QR code given in this page, or you can register using the registration link which is available in our website. So please do register for this exam or this test series and get the high chance for clearing the UPSC prelims of 2026. This news article from the Press Information Bureau is about the digital portal which was launched by the Ministry of Women and Child Development recently. And the portal name is PANKHUDI Portal. So let's analyze more about this portal in detail. So it is an integrated platform for accepting the contribution made out for the corporate social responsibility contributors, and it also acts as a partnership facilitation portal. And it is a type of single window digital platform which unifies various stakeholders such as individuals, NGOs, and other government entities and even government entities to have a unified single platform. And what was the primary purpose of launching this portal? To strengthen the coordination among the various stakeholders and to enhance the transparency upon their contributions, and to have a structured stakeholders participation in the domain of the betterment of women and child development. So what was the core objective of this launch of this portal? To facilitate more corporate social responsibility contributions as well as voluntary contributions made out by other stakeholders, and to have or to improve the convergence among the multiple stakeholders upon one digital unified platform. And it will also enhance the transparency upon their contribution that has been made out under this portal, and to have the unified accountability that has been made out for the betterment of the women and child development. And the feature of monitoring and traceability in this portal will create a sense of security upon the digital platform. And it will also promote the Jan Bhagidari, that is people participation through the usage of technology. What it implies, this platform or this digital portal will act as a bridge between the government as well as citizens. So who are all the stakeholders? As we discussed, this portal brings together various stakeholders such as individuals, NGOs, corporate entities or CSR contributors, NRIs, central government and state government departments into single unified platform. So this various stakeholders who are working for the betterment or the empowerment of women and child development will contribute for the betterment under a thematic schemes, and this thematic scheme specifically focus for the betterment of their nutrition, health, early childhood care and education, child welfare, protection and rehabilitation, women safety and empowerment. And this portal has the direct linkage with other initiatives or flagship missions such as it supports the implementation of Mission Saksham Anganwadi and Poshan 2.0 initiative, and also it supports the Mission Vatsalya and Mission Shakti initiative or the schemes. And with respect to the operational and technical features, this single window digital interface that the contributors can make contributions either in such a way. What is the way? They can register on the portal and they can identify initiatives and they submit the proposal for their contribution that has to be made out for the betterment, and they can easily track the approval status upon the digital portal easily. And this will also enhance the participant various stakeholders participation under one single platform for the betterment of women and child development. And this is very important with respect to UPSC prelims, because this platform works only on non-cash transactions or non-cash contribution that has been only on non-cash or only on digital contributions allowed under this portal. And this has been more important because it has the pre-approved or approval workflows for ensuring more accountability. And with respect to infrastructure and institutional coverage, the PANKHUDI will aims to strengthen services across more than 14 lakhs Anganwadi centers, around 5,000 childcare institutions, around 800 one-stop centers, and more than 500 Shakti Nivas and Shakti Sadans. And moving to the question with reference to PANKHUDI portal, consider the following statement. The first statement: PANKHUDI is an single window digital portal launched by the Ministry of Women and Child Development, facilitates for CSR and partnership based initiatives. And the second statement: the portal supports the implementation of Mission Saksham Anganwadi and Poshan 2.0, Mission Vatsalya and Mission Shakti. The contribution, third statement: contribution made through this PANKHUDI portal permitted only through non-cash modes. So here we can see only in this statement, either it can be deceptive for the students or the aspirants who are in the exam hall, which can be deceptive because it implies only means a deceptive statement. But in this context, this platform works only on the non-cash modes or only the contribution that has to be made out through digital transactions. So the third statement is correct, and the second statement and first statement is also correct. And the answer for this question, they have asked about the correct statement. It is 1, 2, and 3. Let's check. Yes. With this, we move to the next topic. With this news article from The Hindu, we are going to discuss about the famous Indian ecologist and environmentalist Madhav Gadgil and his legacy, and also about the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve in detail. His recent demise has shook the nation because his work towards the conservation of the ecology and environment is more. Because his works of ecological reconnaissance over the large tract of land in the Western Ghats region and formulated and proposed a proposal for the establishment of large natural reserve in that region will eventually lead to the formation of Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve, which is the first biosphere reserve to get established within the Indian territory. So he is a renowned ecologist and conservation biologist whose work towards the conservation of environment and ecology has been closely associated with the regions of Western Ghats and Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. And he is also the one who found the Center for Ecological Sciences inside the campus of Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. And with respect to the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve, which is the first biosphere reserve to get established in India, and it was established in the year of 1986 based on the proposal or the ecological reconnaissance made out by Madhav Gadgil. And the concept document has been authored and prepared by Mr. Madhav Gadgil. And later it also got notified under the UNESCO's Man and Biosphere program. And we can see this Nilgiris Biosphere Reserve in this map, and the core zones has been will be around 1240 square kilometers, and the manipulation zone, that is the core forest area, will be around 3239 square kilometers, which is highest dense forest region of that Nilgiris Biosphere Reserve. And the manipulation zone with respect to tourism, that is the habitable zone of that biosphere reserve, will be around 335 square kilometers. And the restoration zone, that is the zone of convergence between forestry and the tourism zone, will be around 706 square kilometers. So this will be the primary focus for the conservation area to get the better conservation of this Nilgiris Biosphere Reserve. And in this image, we can see the protected areas that lies or having the convergence within the Nilgiris Biosphere Reserve. And here we can see the Bandipur Tiger Reserve here, and Silent Valley National Park here, and such that the Satyamangalam Tiger Reserve will be also being having a converged within this Nilgiris Biosphere Reserve. So it has more ecological significance, and it has the many convergence of various other protected areas. So what are the contributions that has been made out by Mr. Gadgil? He works on the landscape level conservation of that ecosystem. He staunchly advocates for the conservation that that has to go beyond the isolated protected areas. So instead of focusing over the protected areas alone in a isolated manner, we have to create an unified and large structure of land to get conserved under one biosphere reserve or natural sphere, natural reserve. So he advocated on that, and he also staunchly emphasized for the connectivity of habitats for better conservation, and which will be very crucial for Asian elephant conservation too. And it also protects the wildlife corridors, such as the Segur elephant wildlife corridors. So by conserving the large tract of land, we can easily protect the protected areas as well as the biosphere reserve, and also the ecology and habitat who are depending over this large tract of land within the territory. So with respect to the Western Ghats Network Program, so these are all the contributions that has been made out for the conservation of ecology as well as environment by Madhav Gadgil. So Western Ghats and Network Program has been initiated by Madhav Gadgil, and the primary objective of this proposal is to connect the researchers, teachers, students, and other stakeholders across the Western Ghats region. And this states has been spanned between the Gujarat to Tamil Nadu. As we know, the Western Ghats will extend from the Kerala region to the Tamil Nadu region, Maharashtra, Goa, Karnataka, and even to the regions of Gujarat. So it will focus more towards that areas, and the focus was more towards the biodiversity documentation and lesser known species that are prevailing over that ecosystem. And he also works for the conservation using the people's participation or people-centric conservation approach. So Gadgil staunchly promoted community participation in the conservation activities, and also to integrate local livelihoods with biodiversity protection. So this closely aligns with the UNESCO's Man and Biosphere Program philosophy, and also with the modern conservation biology principles. So with respect to the UNESCO's Man and Biosphere Program, it was launched in the year of 1971, and the primary objective of making this Man and Biosphere Program is to have a balanced conservation initiative with the sustainable use of that resources. And this biosphere reserves have established or having the mandate to establish 3 zones, such as the core zone, which is the hotspot region of that biosphere reserve, and the buffer zone, which will be the area of convergence between the habitat as well as the forestry areas, and also the transition zone. And with respect to the Western Ghats, it was declared an UNESCO's World Heritage Site in the year of 2012, and it is considered to be one of the 8 hottest of hotspots of biodiversity globally. So it is also an hotspot across the globe, and it covers around 6% of India's land area, but also hosts only around 30% of the plant species, and also majority of the plant species are having high endemism towards that area. And moving to the prelims practice question, there is an PYQ that has been asked in the year of 2019, and the question is, which of the following are in Agastya Biosphere Reserve? So the ecological point of view, this question will be very important, and by this we can also has to note about what are all the areas or what are the significant protected areas that comes within the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve too. So on this basis, this question will be asked. This which of the following are in Agastya Biosphere Reserve? First is option A, Neyyar, Peppara, Sendurni Wildlife Sanctuaries and Kalakkad Mundandurai Tiger Reserve. Option B, Mudumalai, Satyamangalam and Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary and Silent Valley National Park. Option C, Kaundinya, Gundala, Brahmeshwaram and Papikonda Wildlife Sanctuary and Mukkurthi National Park. Option D, Kaval, Sri Venkateswaram Wildlife Sanctuaries and Nagarjuna Sri Salem Tigers Reserve. So the correct answer for this question will be option A, because the Agastya Biosphere Reserve having various protected areas such as Neyyar, Peppara, Sendurni Wildlife Sanctuaries and Kalakkad Mundandurai Tiger Reserve. So the answer will be option A. Yes. With this, we move to the next topic. With this news article taken from the Press Information Bureau, we are about to discuss on the key government initiatives that has been taken under the Ministry of Tourism for the promotion of tourism related activities, and also the key statistics along with the initiatives, and giving more focus towards the Swadesh Darshan scheme in detail. So with respect to the tourism statistics in India in 2024, the estimated international tourist arrivals will be around 20.57 million, and the foreign exchange earnings because of the tourism related activities contributes around 2,93,033 crores of Indian rupees to the Indian coffers, and the domestic tourist value also significantly add value to the coffers of India will around 2,948.19 million. And moving to the Swadesh Darshan scheme, it was launched by the Ministry of Tourism in the year of 2015 January, and the primary objective of launching this scheme is to development of theme-based tourist circuits across the India. And the project sanctioned under this Swadesh Darshan scheme will be around 76, and the projects completed by the Swadesh Darshan scheme, which was launched in the year of 2015, will be 75, which is a very significant contribution made out by the Swadesh Darshan scheme in completion of the project, which is also a significant achievement that has been made out by Ministry of Tourism. And moving to the Swadesh Darshan 2.0, which is the revamped version of the Swadesh Darshan scheme, it has the more focus towards the sustainable tourism activities and to have a responsible tourism promotion and a tourist and destination centric approach for enhancing the tourism related activities in India. And the project sanction will be around 53 under this revamped version. And the challenge based destination development is a sub scheme which was launched under the revamped Swadesh Darshan scheme or 2.0. And the primary objective of launching this sub scheme is to enhance the tourist experience across the entire value chain. So it has to resonate across, not only with related to the tourism, it will also lead to the value enhancement in other market related or the foreign exchange related activities. And the project sanction under this challenge based destination development will be 36. So this challenge based destination development works under the thematics categories such as the spiritual tourism for the promotion of spiritual tourism and culture and heritage focus, and vibrant village program has to be developed, and ecotourism and Amrit Dharohar sites has to be focused and developed. And moving to the next initiative is the Pradhan Mantri Janjatiya Unnat Grama Abhiyan, and it is a comprehensive initiative taken by the various ministries or the government of India as a whole, and it is also an whole of the government approach towards the betterment of tribal people across the Indian territory for their upliftment and empowerment. And it has the convergence of more than 15 ministries for the betterment of tribal people, and it will be around 17 ministries that works for the betterment of this tribal people under this scheme, and it was approved by the Union Cabinet. And the primary objective, the social economic development of tribal communities. And the tourism component focus was more towards the development of homestays with respect to the tribal villages or the tribal areas, and the estimated projects has to be homestays that needs to be developed will be around 1,000 tribal homestays, and it was implemented as a sub scheme under Swadesh Darshan program. And moving to the next scheme is the Prasad scheme, which is a national mission on pilgrimage rejuvenation and spiritual heritage augmentation drive. And the primary objective of the scheme is to integrate the development of pilgrimage destination. So this will be focused more towards the pilgrimage sites and pilgrimage related activities. This scheme will be focusing, and the project sanction will be around 54. And moving to the next is the scheme which undertook by the Ministry of Tourism to promote and assist the central government entities or central agencies. So the scheme is Assistant to Central Agency Scheme, which provides the financial support to the Archaeological Survey of India, Ministry of Railways, Port Trust, and the ITDC to promote the tourism related activities in India. And the project sanction will be around 66. And moving to the next, here we cannot see the exact title. Please note it down. It is the special assistance to states for capital investment. This is also an initiative made out by the Ministry of Tourism, which is having the iconic tourist centers as the focus. So it will having its say over the budget of 2024 to 25 initiative, and the nature of support that has been provided under this initiative will be the provision of 50 years of interest-free loans for the state to promote the tourism related activities. And the primary objective is to develop iconic tourist centers to the global scale. So to make the iconic tourist centers to the global scale, this scheme will provide the investment or to support the states through provision of the 50 years of interest-free loans. And the promotional and marketing related initiative that has been taken by the Ministry of Tourism under the Bharat Pav of 2025, which will be focusing more towards the venue of Red Fort and Delhi, and it was conducted during the occasion of Republic Day celebration under the theme Dekho Apna Desh. And the other promotional marketing related initiative is the Chalo India campaign, which focus more over the NRIs, that is the NRIs and other Indian diasporas, and it is an initiative for Indian diaspora too, which will benefits the 1 lakh gratis e-tourist visas. So it will also has the say over the financial or the money exchange related tourism. So the next initiative is the International Tourism Mart, which focus more towards the northeast states, and the 13th International Tourism Mart was recently conducted on the venue of Gangtok in Sikkim, and the dates will be around 13th November to 16th November of 2025. And with related to the skill development initiatives or the skill development focus initiative with related to tourism, the Paryatan Mitra and Paryatan Didi is one such initiative for skill development activities with related to tourism. And it is a national responsible tourism initiative which having the objective to have the more community partnership participation towards the enhancement of the tourism sites and also the enhancement of local employment by the tourism related activities, and also having the tourist friendly destination to make the destination be a tourist friendly. And the next is the MICE tourism, which is the expansion of that is meetings, incentives, conference, and expositions. So this related tourism having a sub brand has been launched because under this will be Meet in India sub brand, and this will be a national strategy and roadmap for MICE that has been deciphered under the scheme. And this digital MICE catalog covers around 60 cities, which includes G20 host cities. And this Meet in India conclave is one such another initiative taken by the Ministry of Tourism, which having the venue in Jaipur. And this is to be noted, the medical and wellness tourism, because India is considered to be a major tourist destination with related to medical tourism. And foreign medical tourist arrival will be around 6,44,387 in the year of 2024 itself. And the growth of the visitors with respect to this medical tourism in from the year of 2020 has surged to around 252%. And what is the strength of this medical and wellness tourism? It creates affordable tertiary care for the global people and also the integration with the Ayush related activities. And this under this initiative, the visa facilities has been availing for AE medical visas and E-Ayush visas, which is available for travelers from 171 countries across the globe. And moving to the prelims practice question with reference to Swadesh Darshan scheme, consider the following statements. The first statement, Swadesh Darshan was launched in 2015 to develop theme-based tourist circuits. Second statement, challenge-based destination development is a sub-scheme under Swadesh Darshan 2.0. Third statement, Prasad scheme focuses on development of coastal tourism destinations. So, which of the following statements given above is are correct? So, in this question also they have asked about the correct statement, and the first statement was correct because it was launched in 2015 and tourist-based, theme-based circuits will be created. And the second statement is also correct because this CBDD is a sub-scheme under revamped Swadesh Darshan, that is 2.0. And the third statement was incorrect because the Prasad scheme, as we discussed, is focusing more towards the pilgrimage site development, and it will enhance the pilgrimage site for the public. So this will not be the correct statement. So the answer after eliminating the third statement, we can easily arrive. Option A. Yes. With this, we move to the next topic. Top courts green governance cause for uncertainty. This news article from The Hindu talks about the Indian judiciary's role over the environmental governance and also the prevailing uncertainty over the governance of environmental related aspects by Indian judiciary, specifically the Supreme Court in detail. So what was the primary role of judiciary in governing the environmental related aspects in India? It has to act as an environmental protector as well as the guardian of Indian Constitution. So its role is primarily a pivotal role to strike a balance between the environmental governance, and it also has to secure and guard the Indian Constitution as a whole. So for protecting the environmental related aspects or the environmental governments of Indian judiciary. It enforces articles in the Indian constitution such as Article 21, 48A and 51A of subclass G to protect the environment of India. And it also acts as a role having the reviewer of administrative and regulatory legality. So it scrutinizes decisions of environmental regulators as well as authorities within the Indian territory. And it also acts as an issuer of directions for specific environmental related directions needs to be the primary concern, and also it acts as a substitute regulator in case of any vacuum that has been prevailing over the certain environment or in a certain environmental related aspect. It needs to be act as a substitute regulator which issues forward looking directions and steps in where regulators fail. So it can also take the judicial action, or it can also take the judicial powers to make the environmental governance a more viable one. And it also has the role of interpreter of environmental principles. So the Indian environmental principles also needs to be interpreted by the Supreme Court or the Indian judiciary in common. It applies principles like the precautionary principles, sustainable development activities, and also the polluter pay principles. And it also acts as a manager and policy shaper through continuing mandamus. So the judiciary can issue mandamus by enforcing the environmental laws, and it monitors compliance of various projects or environmental conservations, and use expert committees for involving in monitoring process and balancing environmental development, and also shapes policy outcomes. So what are the key interventions that has been made out by the Indian judiciary in the earlier period in with respect to the eco-sensitive zones? In the year of 2022, it issues mandatory directions regarding the development of mandatory 1 kilometer eco-sensitive zones around the protected areas. So the rule has been diluted in the year of 2023, where the eco-sensitive zones notification already has been existing, and due to the feasibility, which is because the dilution is because of the feasibility concern over the protected areas. And the vehicle ban will be the most popular direction that has been issued by the Indian judiciary. In the year of 2015, it issues the judgments or issues the opinion regarding the banning of diesel vehicles which are having more or equal to 2000 cubic capacity. So in the year of 2016, the ban has been lifted because it replaced with the compensation charges for using such vehicles. And in the year of 2025, it was further it got renovated, and further it got modified to age-based vehicle restrictions which got introduced. Then it got narrowed to the pre-BS4 stage. And with respect to the firecrackers, the issue of the firecrackers over the national capital territory, which aggravates the air pollution, and the Supreme Court steps in to protect the environment. It has nearly issued the directives to nearly total ban of the usage of firecrackers over that region because of the air pollution concern, and the relaxation has been allowed only during the festival seasons or the festive eve, citing enforcement constraints. And with respect to the Vanashakti versus Union of India, which is also a significant directions or the judgments that has been provided by the Supreme Court with related to the environmental concern in the year of governance in the year of 2025, which is related to the environmental clearance that is being provided for the that is having the retrospective environmental clearance that has been provided under certain projects. So the court has first rejected the ex post facto, that is retrospective, giving retrospective effect to the environmental clearance. But later it was reviewed and diluted because of the stance that due to economic disruptions that is also a concern for the implementation of such projects. And what are the major challenges that was faced by the Indian judiciary in environmental governance? So the first is the regulatory uncertainty. So it is because the due to frequent modification and reversal of court orders. And the second major challenge is the judicial overreach. So the problem of judicial overreach is prevailing in the Indian environment because the with the courts substituting themselves for the regulators will also a cause of concern for the regulators who is presently there for making the governance or who is overseeing the environmental related problems there. And the weakening of statutory environmental institutions by judicial overreach, and also the stepping the direction of the judiciary into such concerns instead of strengthening them. And there is other major challenge is the lack of technical expertise for the judiciary members or the judges in the Supreme Court or the Indian judiciary in common is also a cause of concern in handling complex ecological and scientific issues, which is also been a concern to the environmental concern that has been made out by the Indian judiciary. And the ad hoc exemptions and diluted enforcement. So this is also a primary cause of concern and challenge for Indian judiciary in environmental governance. So this provision of ad hoc exemptions to some environmental concerns, and also the temporary exemptions, and also the diluted enforcements without analyzing much of the scientific values of this environmental concern will also reduce the credibility of environmental protection by Indian judiciary. And what was the suggested way forward and recommendations with related to this issue? It has to focus more on the disciplining of regulators instead of replacing them. And it also has to set clear threshold for what is the correct time that needs to be step in for the Indian judiciary to have the overreach over environmental governance. And it also has to insist on time-bound recent regulatory actions, and to avoid sweeping rules that invites frequent exemptions, as in the case of Manashakti versus Union of India. And it has to preserve space for public participation and later judicial review. Moving to the mains practice question, discuss the evolving role of the judiciary in environmental governance in India. How has judicial interventions both strengthened and complicated environmental regulations? So first we need to address the evolving role of Indian judiciary in environmental governance. So we have to quote the articles that we have discussed, and also about the judicial interventions in environmental related governance from the historic point of view. And we can also quote the separate body that has been established under judiciary for environmental governance, that is National Green Tribunal. So this also can be quoted. And further we have to address the how judicial interventions both strengthen. So we have to address the strengthening point of view as well as the complicated environmental regulations point of view from the discussion. So it is a 15 mark question. We need to answer within 250 words. So please take this question and answer, and please post your answers in the comment section. We will happy to evaluate your answers, and we are also expecting your answers in the comment section. And we will give the feedback in the comment section itself. With this, we move to the Prelims Focus. And moving to the section of Prelims Focus, and the first topic is about the 9th edition of Indus Food 2026, which is Asia's premier food and beverage trade show or expo, organized by the Trade Promotion Council of India. And the primary aim of this expo is to strengthen India's role and position as a reliable partner in global food supply chain. And what are the key highlights of this news? The first is the India UAE food corridor established by Abu Dhabi Food Hub. which will enhance the food security between India and UAE and also strengthens the food supply chain networks between both the nations. And it will also eventually boost the bilateral food trade between India and UAE in a sustainable manner. And the other thing we need to note is the APEDAS initiative, that is Agricultural and Processed Food Products Export Development Authorities initiative, known as Bharati initiative. So under this initiative, India's agro-based startups will showcase their products which has been integrated with the innovation, has been showcased or open up to the global buyers to have the expanded global market for that product. And this will based on a separate show or an innovative show known as the Shark Tank style pitching. So with this news article, there is a relevant news that recently India has exported the large quantity of GI tagged Indi lime to UAE market. And this will be very important for our UPSC. And also there is a comprehensive economic partnership agreement between India and UAE. So this will be more important with respect to our UPSC prelims. So the next topic is about the conference that has been held recently. The conference is India International Conference on Democracy and Election Management in 2026. And it was hosted by Election Commission of India, and it was organized by India International Institute of Democracy and Election Management under the aegis of Election Commission of India. And who are all the participants of this conference? It attracted the 100+ delegation from across the globe who are associated with the election management bodies of their nation or country. And what is the primary objective of this conference? It is to serve global platform for international cooperation among election management bodies. And the other objective, to enable the development of shared understanding of contemporary challenges that may be faced by them, and exchange of best practices and innovation, that is knowledge sharing between the election management bodies as well as the participants, and also enhancing or co-creation of solution for the basic hurdles that they may face. And the third topic is about the ship of first training squadron. So it was inducted using the ships such as INS Tir, Shardul, Sujata, and Indian Coast Guard ship Sharati. So this will be important fact, that is 3 INS, that is Indian naval ships, has been involving in this training process, and only one ship, that is belonging to the Indian Coast Guard ship, that has been integrated into this training. So it will be proceeding on the long range training deployment training process in specifically to the regions of Southeast Asia. So this will be very important, and this long range training deployment is a part of a training curriculum of 110th Integrated Officers Training course, and it was scheduled to conducted under the ports call. So under this training, the ships and their crew will know about the port calling mechanism at the Singapore, Indonesia, and Thailand. And what was the primary aim of this training is to provide comprehensive operational and cross-cultural exposure to the officer trainees. And what is the significance of this news? It reinforces India's sustained maritime engagement with Southeast Asian nations. So it will strengthen the foothold of India in the Southeast Asia, and also have a collaboration and cooperation along the nations in Southeast Asian region. And it also aligns with the India's Act East policy, which can easily quoted in our exams, and the vision for free, open, and inclusive Indian Ocean region. So it also strives and reiterates the India's position in the Indian Ocean region. So moving to the prelims practice question, and the question is with reference to the India International Conference on Democracy and Election Management, consider the following statement. The first statement is, it is an initiative associated with Election Commission of India to promote sharing of electoral best practices at the international level. So the first statement was correct, as it is directly implies with the conference. And the second statement, it deals exclusively with the conducting elections within India. So this exclusively and within India is not correct, as it is a deceptive statement, and it is, this conference is not only subject to the conduction of election in India. So the second statement was incorrect, and here they asked about the correct statement, and the answer will be one only. Yes, with this we came to the conclusion of this episode. Hope you guys like the video. Please share your positive comments and suggestions in the comment section given below, and share the video to your friends. Don't forget to hit the bell icon and subscribe button for receiving on-time notification. Thank you for watching us. Have a good day.